Hi guys, I'm Charlie, a Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to do my December and January wrap up. Since I didn't read a lot of books in December, I didn't actually do a wrap up for December, but then I read quite a lot of books in January, so I'm still at a disadvantage here. But I am going to do my wrap ups a bit differently. How I'm going to do it now is I'm going to tell you my star rating for every book, and I'm just going to talk to you about the books I actually have something to say about in this video, because I don't know, when I read a lot of books, it's just very hard to have a concise wrap up, and I don't want my wrap ups to be like 20 minutes long. So let's get started with the star rating, shall we? I have one book with a 1-star rating, and that is Sad Girls by Alain. I actually do want to talk about this book. I think it's very sad that I didn't like this book by Alain. I didn't like it at all. I kind of hated it, to be honest. Well, I love Alain's poetry, so this was a very sad read for me because this is her debut novel, and I would have loved to have actually liked it, but I didn't, and that's so sad. And I don't think I will read a novel by Alain again. I think I will just stick to a poetry collections because this was just too sad. Let's move on to my 2-star reads. I have one, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom. Then the 3-star reads, The Course of Love by Alain de Botton, Moonrise by Crossan, Lucky in Love by Kasie, Manga Classics, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen and Stacy King, and lastly, Genuine Fraud by Lockhart. I also want to talk about this book. This was a disappointment. Like, it was such a thrilling read and I enjoyed it for most of the ride. It's actually told in a kind of reverse chronological order. So the book actually starts at the ending, and then the book goes back in time to actually show you what has happened throughout time and what happened to our two main characters who are best friends, Imogen and Jewel, and why Imogen is suddenly not in Jewel's life anymore. Like, where is she? Where she disappeared off to? And this was a very interesting read. It got very violent, very intriguing, but I did not like the ending of this book. I thought the ending was so disappointing in comparison, like a great read, like We Were Liars, what Lockhart has written earlier. This ending just didn't live up to that. It's very sad because I kind of liked this book, but the ending ruined it for me because there was literally no point to this entire book just because of the ending. I said lastly, but actually not lastly, we also still have Miss Marvel Volume 3, Crushed. I didn't have any 5-star reads this month, but I do have 2 4-star reads. The first one is Letters to a Lost by Brigid Kemmerer. I'm actually currently reading, while filming this, Brigid Kemmerer's newest book, and that is More Than We Can Tell. It's coming out in March, and it's set in the same universe as Letters to a Lost. And Letters to a Lost was a fun book, but I barely remember it now. But I loved it when I read it back in December, so I rated it 4 stars. Now I'm reading More Than We Can Tell, and I like it so much more than Letters to a Lost. Like, I think Brigid Kemmerer is a good author for me, and More Than We Can Tell is such a memorable read so far, and I honestly think that Brigid Kemmerer is going to be the author for me. Like, I want to read more books by her. So Letters to a Lost was a great starting point if you are interested, because the other book she's recently published is set in the same universe, and I'm actually really enjoying seeing the main characters from the first book being side characters in the second book. And the last book in this wrap up, One Dark Throne by Kendare. This is the second book in the 3 Dark Crowns series by now. And this series is so great. I've read Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare before, and that's a paranormal read about a ghost called Anna. And I didn't really like that one. Honestly, I didn't like the writing style. I felt it was too juvenile for me. I didn't really feel anything for it. It didn't click with me. But then I started reading 3 Dark Crowns, which is Kendare's newest fantasy series. And this one really did click with me. It's about 3 queens who have to battle to the death for one of them to become queen, because there can only be one queen on this island. And I feel genuinely for all 3 characters throughout this series, and I really genuinely want them all to live. So this book ended so great, and I cannot wait to see what the 3rd book will bring, because at the end of this book I really don't know where the author will take our characters, so I cannot wait for the 3rd book. It has yet to come out this year, but yes, this book was really great, 4 stars, and I hope the 3rd book will be just as great so I can keep on loving this series some more. So yeah guys, this is my wrap up for December and January. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what did you think about them, or do you want to read any of these books? I would love to know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!